Welcome back to FG Mania. In part 1, Alex reunited with her brother after many years apart. But before enjoying the family reunion, an accident occurred that caused Alex's brother to die. Using her power, Alex and the town people find out the truth. So what will the end of the story be? What is Alex's true power? Let's find out the ending in life as Strang True Colors with me right now. In part 1, we witnessed the tragic death of Gabe, Alex's brother. With his special ability, Alex has found out it was not a mere accident. Behind her brother's death was a secret that Typhon was keeping. Alex and the people of Haven Springs planned to take down Typhon by submitting a USB with information about the RIA project. But is it that easy? Let's follow the next progress of life as Strange True Colors in today's video. The town festival has come. Alex called to make an appointment with Jason to give him the USB after the opening ceremony that night. This is the festival of love. So traditionally girls will take a rose and give it to the person they like. Ryan and Steph helped with the entertainment, so they prepared the lights and sounds at the park. Alex gently took a flower and wondered whether to give it to Ryan or Steph. She decided to take a walk around and met Mac standing away from everyone. She said she heard the contents of the phone call with Gabe, and thanked Mac for letting go of the grudge to enthusiastically help with Ethan's rescue that day. Riley stood alone at the bus stop. She discovered Eleanor's disease, and decided to give up her studies to stay to help her overcome the disease of old age. In the bar, Ducky sat alone. Alex reads his mind about a woman named Tabitha, but when she asked, he tried not to mention it. Alex tried to absorb Ducky's emotions. She realized this bar was a place full of memories for him. The decorative wooden bear in the corner of the shop was carved by Ducky himself. It was also where he became acquainted with Tabitha. The corner of the small table on the other side was where he proposed to her. They choose the song to dance for their 30th wedding anniversary from the bar's music player. He joked that the two would celebrate another 30 years. But now she has gone ahead to let him stay here until the end of his life, and every year, festival is the time when he misses his wife the most. Alex recognized the tune of the song and immediately the music player turned it on. She invited him to dance that eased the old man's sadness. Ducky is happy again and decides to go to the park to attend the festival with everyone. Back to the festival, Alex gave a rose to Ryan, which surprised him very much. Everything was prepared, and Alex knew that he was set by two friends to be the lead singer without warning. Although Alex loves music and knows how to play, but this was the first time she sings in front of people that made her nervous. Steph comforts that, just keep singing because the town people get drunk and they can't hear anything. Alex finally agreed to sing and her performance was greatly appreciated. Alex caught a glimpse of Charlotte leaving the party and heading to the pier, so she followed. Charlotte confides in her feelings and Alex sympathizes. Charlotte's crisis has subsided over time, but it is not completely over. Charlotte needed more time to calm down. When the opening ceremony was over, everyone dispersed. Ryan sent Alex to the rooftop to play. There, he planted a new tree and confided in Alex. He asked her about her future plans, and helped Alex figure them out with little questions about the day-to-day activities she would imagine living in Haven Springs. He confessed his love to her and the two kissed. The sudden feeling of sublimation caused the plant Ryan had just planted to bloom immediately. Ryan went downstairs first to let Alex sink into his thoughts. Now she was only one step away from defeating the Typhon Corporation and clarify Gabe's death. But then, she was completely unprepared for the future when she was alone in this world. Alex goes to the front of the bar and meets Jason. She gave the USB to him, but this time the deputy sheriff invited her to the station with a rather serious expression.
You need to come with me to the station. Alex? Don't make this hard.
At the police station, Jason said that Diane was one step ahead as to accuse Alex of stealing her USB. Now everything is reversed because the USB is the evidence of the crime. Jason can't open it without a court warrant. As for Gabe's accident, his superiors had just suddenly ordered the file to be closed without further investigation. As for Alex, she's in big trouble because Diane declares that in the USB is Typhon's business secret, and stealing it is a federal crime in the computer crime category, that carries a sentence of 5 to 10 years in prison. However, Typhon also made an agreement: if Alex signs a pledge not to pursue Gabe anymore, they'll let it go. Alex thinks this is a clear sign that Typhon is hiding something, and was caught by her weak point, so she took action. She refused to sign the deal, which scared Jason. Absorbing the feeling of the policeman, she realized he was afraid of Typhon's overwhelming power. Jason also said Typhon hired detectives to track both Alex and Ryan and Steph, all in their sights. He was afraid that if he resisted, they would be killed. When he realized that Typhon was targeting his group of friends in the first place, Alex is also very scared and is faced with the risky decision to continue, or surrender for everyone's safety. Alex decided to seek Jason's support, by sucking all his fear into her, then tried to reassure and encourage his courage. The feeling of fear is gone, Jason immediately thought, and decided to keep the USB and let Alex go. Back in the room, Alex almost collapsed from fear. The thought of her friends in danger plus the fear she sucked from Jason. However, Alex made it through and went downstairs to meet Jed according to his message. Jed inquires about the abnormalities Alex has been experiencing lately. She candidly recounts how she investigated Typhon and how Ryan was also followed by them. Jed says he knows Typhon's secret, and tried to keep it a secret for years, but today he's going to show it to Alex. The old man led Alex up the hill. There was a mine funnel, that Jed said was a vent that led straight down to the old mine site that was leveled by Typhon. Alex looked down at the vertical mine funnel, but she could feel a sadness rising from behind her. He pulled out his gun and said he did everything he could to stop Alex from digging into Typhon's secret, but she was too stubborn. He said that once upon a time he had made an irrevocable mistake. And now he must do this to avoid harm to the town. Jed fires a single shot at Alex, causing her to fall into the mine funnel lead down to the dark mines below. Alex found herself back in Dr. Lynn's interview room. She was asked about her emotions in the town of Haven Spring. Finally, the doctor announced that after everything, she was finally back here. Alex tried to argue that it wasn't, but suddenly realized that the room had changed, and she was talking to an empty chair. The doorknob disappeared, leaving Alex unable to get out. She had to find the traces in the room and get her guitar. But when just playing, the harsh sound sounded instead of the guitar. She saw blood fall from her face onto the herd. Alex woke up, and found herself resting halfway up the mine funnel over an uprooted wooden beam. She tried to reach for the stairs on the cellar wall, when the wooden bar broke and Alex fell to the bottom. Once again, Alex found herself in a different place. It was the hospital corridor, and beside her was Gabe. He explained that this was the time when their mother became seriously ill. Their father, John Chen, wearily walked out of the hospital room and asked Alex to visit her mother. Her mother praised that her little daughter was very strong, since Alex hadn't cried since the beginning. She also told her to be stronger to take care of her brother and father in the days to come. She thrust into Alex's hand a pendant with pictures of the two brothers as a souvenir. Alex finds herself moved to another place, this time it's their old home. Gabe was also there and he explained that after his mother passed away, Gabe and his father are in constant conflict, while Alex tries to follow his mother's orders to find a way to reconcile, whenever the two men in the family quarrel. On that particular day, Gabe quarreled with John again. John suffered from the death of his wife. He had to struggle to raise two children, so he often make mistakes that lead to job loss. That day he was fired again. Gabe tried to scold him because he thought that John was lazy and irresponsible to his family. The argument culminated when John was about to swing his hand at Gabe, but he hit Alex. Like a drop of water, John took his backpack and packed his things, then said someone would come pick up the two kids. The two brothers have known about John's contact with the orphanage for a long time, but he hasn't decided yet. Now maybe everything is too much to bear, and he had to hand over two children because he could no longer raise them. Alex angrily threw the pendant at John. He picked it up and took it away as a last memorabilia. Alex went to another place, the orphanage. Gabe, because he stole a car, was sent to a reformatory and no longer lived with him. Alex must survive alone in an orphanage with strict rules, fights between abandoned children. She gradually becomes excitable and fights fiercely without faltering. It was also during this time that her superpowers gradually appeared. At 17, no one wanted to adopt her anymore. When reading the feelings of those who choose to adopt, they rate her very negatively. She is like an old and broken toy that no one wants to touch. The feeling of suffering caused Alex to explode with his energy. And Gabe explains that Alex needs to understand one thing, that she doesn't have to be strong to support her family, because when tragedy struck, she was just an 11-year-old girl. Be strong for yourself, cry when you're sad, get angry when you need to be angry, and lastly stay strong. Alex woke up at the bottom of the mine, scratched all over and probably broken ribs. Jed's bullet probably just grazed her head, so it shouldn't be too much of a concern. In the dim light she found an old oil lamp. Suddenly remember Gabe's lucky fan matchstick, she used the last match to light a lamp to find a way out. When she reached a large compartment, she spotted the modern mining equipment and concrete retaining walls, suggests that this is a modern mining area that may be near the exit. However, the old oil lamp quickly went out because it ran out of oil. Alex panicked in the pitch-black darkness of the underground mine. After she calmed down, Alex noticed a very strong emotional energy radiating from one direction ahead. With no other choice, she had to follow this flow of energy. It is the residual resentment from the accident 12 years ago and also the secret that Typhon and Jed hide. That year, Jed commanded a group of miners, who were digging deep into the pit with pride of being the best team and capable of digging the deepest. Jed breaks safety rules in order to achieve quick results. He continued to drill more, despite the drain pump was broken. They unfortunately hit the groundwater, and the front team was trapped since the tunnel was collapsed. Jed is afraid that the water will reach the back team and they will all die. So he decided to leave the trapped team and lead the back team to escape. Alex finds the pile of rocks left from the tunnel collapse, and realized there was something underneath that was emitting all this energy. When she dug it out, it was a pendant with the picture of two brothers. John Chen, after handing over two children to the orphanage, drifted to the countryside to work as a miner. Perhaps he hoped that after a period of working in this attractive area, he would accumulate enough money and take the children back. But he was among the group that went ahead and was left behind by Jed. He cried out in despair, and when he realized he had no chance to return, he apologized. He knew that he no longer had a chance to bring his two children back.
It's over, Chen. He's not coming back. I'm sorry.
Alex kept her father's memorabilia, then rummaged through the rocks to find a way out through the old mine entrance when looking for Ethan. Before she left, she ripped off the plaque commemorating Jed's feat. At the bar now, the Haven Springs Town Council meeting was about to begin. Diane made a diplomatic statement about Typhon's relationship with the town. Today's vote will decide whether Haven Springs Town accepts the sale of the mountain land to Typhon to open new mining hatches or not. Resident representatives are members of the council, including owner of major shops in the town such as Fresh Flower Shop, Art Grass Shop, bar, record store, police representative, forest ranger representative. At this moment, Alex opened the door and trudged in, badly injured. She turned Jed's face over and told the truth that Typhon and Jed had been hiding for so long.
Do you need help? We can call an ambulance.
Typhon's been lying to all of you. And so has Jed Lucan.
Alex, what's going on?
The very calm Diane immediately retorted and said that the above accusations were made up of Alex's imagination. When she was so sad about her brother's death, Alex then used a plan to attack Diane's weak point. She said that Diane herself did not want to follow this inhuman scenario. She even made plans to leave Typhon. Why not have the courage to speak the truth and regain the rest of your conscience? Diane was hit by an inner conflict, so she withdrew without saying any more. Jed was still holding on to his cover. He thinks that Alex is too sad to attack anyone who wants to help her. Alex firmly accuses Jed of wanting to kill her and urges everyone to believe her. Steph was the first to show support for Alex. Ducky also believes that what Alex said deserves an investigation rather than a quick dismissal. Jason also supports the investigation. When Diane tried to put pressure on him, he showed no fear of either her or Typhon. Eleanor was affected by Alzheimer's disease, so she believed Diane's claim, and believes that Alex has suffered from panic attacks and hallucinations just like herself. Charlotte also expressed support for Alex. When receiving more than half of the support, Alex stepped out and apologized to Ryan for unmasking his father in the middle of an important meeting. This makes Ryan trust Alex even more, and he comes out and convinces Jed to confess and work out a solution together. Jed is angry that his own son turned his back on him but still insists on not admitting it. Alex took the pendant and gathered all his hatred to deliver one final blow. She goes straight into Jed's emotional world and accuses him of killing both her father and her brother, when they're trying to find a life for themselves. He also plotted to kill her when all she was looking for was a normal and happy life. All because he was swept away by Typhon's ambition, and become a puppet to protect their rights. Jed is like Diane, not a bad guy, but being forced by corporate greed leads to disaster, and then Typhon continued to lead them to become tools to protect their own money-making benefits. Alex didn't forget the good things Jed did for her and her brother, and then she also discovered the worst things he did. That in the end, she accepted to forgive him. Alex's forgiveness broke Jed's last will to resist. He burst into tears and collapsed on the floor. Sometime later, Alex's wound healed. Jed has to go to prison for a while, and the Typhon Corporation has to suffer heavy losses. Their stock plummeted, and the CEO had to resign. Finding the truth and overthrowing the evil corporation is over. It's time for Alex to decide her future. Ryan comes to Alex and says he's ready to go with her wherever she decides to stay or go. He also has nothing left in this town but feelings for her. Alex walked up to the terrace, and sat down at the table and chairs where she and Gabe had been drinking beer that day. Gabe appeared to her subconscious mind and talked to her about the future. Gabe said that if Alex stayed, she would run Jed's bar with Ryan. A few months later, Steph suddenly left the record store to Alex. She continues to be passionate about her music. Years of living with Ryan and the town people, she gradually changed the bar and the whole town. She brings new life and positive renewal to Haven Springs to make Haven Springs a happier place. But Gabe also says that doesn't mean she can't choose differently. Alex wants to stay here because this is the only home she has found during her unhappy childhood. Gabe said that she used to be homeless before, then why not continue to adventure to explore the world through adventures? Alex laughed and said she made up her mind and realized Gabe was gone. The ending above is just one of the 6 endings of Life is Strange, True Colors. These endings are lined up in 2 major directions based on Alex's decision to leave or stay in Haven Springs. In each direction, there are 3 small changes based on the decisions scattered throughout the game by the players. There are 2 objects to be a lover, a love affair with Ryan or a love affair with Steph, or not choosing also affects who will accompany Alex. The first ending above belongs to the group that stayed in Haven Springs town. And let's take a look at the other endings. Alex stayed in Haven Spring alone, Ryan wasn't with her. Steph decides to leave the town and leave the record store to her. Alex stayed in Haven Spring with Steph. They both work at a record store and enjoy the days of the musical world together. The 2 have intimate moments of love with each other. Alex decided to leave to pursue her passion for music. The people she helped came to see her off at the bus stop, and Ryan took their luggage onto the bus with her to go on a trip. Alex prepares for his first gig. She receives a text message from Ryan cheering while everyone in the town promises to attend. She stepped onto the stage and introduced herself as Alex Chen. Alex decided to leave to pursue her passion for music. The people she helped came to see them off at the bus stop. Alex prepares for her first gig. She received encouraging messages from friends in Haven Springs town. She stepped onto the stage and introduced herself as Alex Chen. Alex decided to leave to pursue his passion for music. The people she helped came to see them off at the bus stop, and Steph took her luggage onto the bus and went on a trip with her. Alex prepares for her first gig. She gets a text message from Steph cheering while everyone in the town promises to attend. She stepped onto the stage and introduced herself as Alex Chen. You can encapsulate the 6 endings as follows. 1. Stay with Ryan, live happily in the bar. 2. Stay alone, live lonely but happy. 3. Stay with Steph, live happily in music. 4. Leaving with Ryan. 5. Leaving alone. 6. Leaving with Steph. There will be some slight changes depending on your in-game decisions, as well as the number of people Alex helped will show up to see off. If you don't help anyone, no one will come to see you off. If you go alone but express your emotions to Ryan on the terrace, Ryan will come to see you off. With Alex, the emotions of the opposite person are represented by their own colors. Red is anger or hatred. Blue is sadness. Gold is cheerful, happy. Pink is love. Purple is fear. Those are the truest human colors. Ones can hide oneself beneath a mask but couldn't hide their emotions in front of Alex. She has the ability to see and touch the true colors of her inner self, and the conscience of every person she meets. Alex spent a painful childhood with emotional levels stretched to the end. From those sufferings, they exude a power, and then she used it to bring relief to people. She uses it to learn about other people's emotional pressures, and thereby help them get rid of negative feelings, love life more and live more happily. Alex is like famous comedians like Robin Williams. Charlie Chaplin brings smiles to everyone, but carry a heavy emotional pain. Who knew that the person who brought laughter to the world hid a great pain inside? But Alex is different. She has a beautiful, complete and happy ending when she gets out of the suffering of her life and looking to the future. And that's the whole story in Life is Strange, True Colors. A very ordinary story revolving around ordinary people. Alex's superpower can be seen as empathy and emotional understanding. This superpower is not impossible because each of us can practice it by ourselves. What do you think about this story? Please leave your comment below. And now, goodbye and see you again.